Oh my god, I'm not really happy with this one. So firstly, we're gonna go into my not knowing about the book and just looking at this as an individual movie. I gave this a 2 out of 5 stars, considering if I haven't read the book, because it was so fast paced. Like there were clips where I was like, wait, I didn't even have time to register that part. Everything just flowed so weirdly. First, they were here, they were not close. Suddenly they moved into an apartment together and I was like, what? So yeah, I gave it a 2 because I'm not really happy with it as an individual film. I like that they put in diversity and that Josephine Langford's acting was amazing. I love how she portrayed this character. I get into the mood with her. I really love her acting. But about Hero, this is hard to say because I love that guy. I wasn't happy with his acting. His acting was a little off for me. I was iffy about it. I don't know if it's his accent that's throwing me off. Yeah, that's my not looking into the book review. Going to this, knowing that I've read the books, I give this a 3. Well, so why is it more on you've read the book? Because it has more sentimental value. Because I've been waiting for it and finally having to see the books into actual real life people who are acting the scenarios like really made an impact on me because I really love the books even if they're so problematic. But still, I'm not happy with this one. But there are 2 things like really changed in this movie. I was fine with the first one, but with the other thing, I'm not. And now I'm going into the spoilery part of the movie. You can go now if you don't want to be spoiled. I put on some notes so I can tell you exactly what I felt in this. Okay, let's go. I went into this knowing that it's not going to be like the book. They really said that. It's not going to be like the book, so don't expect the book in this film. So I was like thinking that, okay, they're gonna change some plot points. Maybe they're gonna change the wedding scene. They're going to change how Tessa got out of her virginity. I was already like thinking of things that they could have changed, but I didn't thought that they would change the bed and Hardin Scott. Because that's the thing, guys. They freaking changed Hardin Scott. I was okay with them changing the bed, but Hardin Scott? Why did you change his character? I don't know if it's how Hero portrayed him, that's why he changed, but I don't know. No, it's actually the script. He's not Hardin Scott. For him to be Hardin Scott, he has to be an ass. But he wasn't. He didn't even curse once in this film. I know this is PG-13, but you can put on curse words in PG-13 films. The Fault in Our Stars, hello, that was PG-13, but there was a lot of cursing in that. Oh, he curses a lot. So like, why didn't you put that in here? But I think I'm gonna go into the Hardin Scott more later. There's more to it, guys. Let's talk about the bed first. I didn't expect that they would change the bed, but I understand why they changed it. I think they were like, okay, no girl is going to forget of a guy for being dared to lose her virginity. I think they were like, that's too intense. So they like mellowed it down into Hardin. Instead of being dared to get Tessa's virginity, he dared himself that he can make Tessa fall in love with him. I'm fine with that, but like already knowing that it could have been worse, it wasn't like a big deal to me watching the film. Like it's just a dare of you falling in love with him. But like I know that could be bad for other people, but getting someone's virginity because of a dare is like really hardcore a big thing. So like when Tessa began like, get away from me, you're a liar. So when she was saying that, of reacting over this, I was like, could have been worse, girl. Actually be happy that it's just that. So yeah, that's what I thought about the bed, but I'm really fine with it. Okay, let's go into the Hardin Scott change. They freaking changed the guy. I know they were changing plots, but I didn't know that they were going to change a character because like Hardin Scott is the main plot. His attitude, him being an ass and not giving a fudge in anything, that's his character. That's the main thing in the book that you cannot change. But in here, he was nice. The first time we saw him, when he was in Steph and Tessa's dorm, and Tessa just went in there in a towel, can you go? And he's like, don't flatter yourself. I'm not looking. That just made my heart. I think I might have screamed a little when I saw that. So when he said that, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. But then he started being nice and saying thank you to the barista. Who says thank you to the barista? Not Hardin Scott. He doesn't say say thank you. That's not something he does. The way Hiro portrayed him, it didn't look cold. I wanted him to be brooding and just plain, because Hiro conveyed so much emotions in his facial expression. I wanted Hardin to not convey any emotions because that's Hardin. When you look at him, he had a picture. I was like, oh my gosh, he's the perfect Hardin Scott. Like, look at his face, it's so fierce. Like, he's gonna be great. Yeah, he might have looked like he's fierce, but he's so cute to be Hardin. Like, he could be fierce, but when he acts, he looks like a little boy. He looks like an 11-year-old Tom Riddle. The way he talks is even like Tom Riddle in Harry Potter. Like, go, you're the doctor, aren't you? I keep watching it and I was like, I feel like I'm still watching Tom Riddle. I'm sorry, I still love him, you know. Another thing that was so un-Hardin Scott-like was him offering to water plants that his father is friends with. Hardin Scott doesn't offer to water plants? What is this? And also when he was drinking, Tessa was in their house. He's so mad because his father's getting married. Tessa was like, I thought you didn't drink. He's like, I don't. I didn't. I think they should have clarified that he doesn't drink anymore. Like, he used to drink a lot, but now he's just sobering up, and then he began drinking again because some stuff happened. When he said that I didn't, it just looks like, oh, he doesn't drink, and now he's just drinking. Also, they didn't show that he can be a womanizer. If you haven't read the books, you wouldn't think that, oh, Hardin Scott is a womanizer. I don't see. And I also thought that if you haven't read the book, you'll think that Hardin was dating Molly in the beginning. So I feel like they should have clarified that they're not dating and just friends with benefits. He was just brooding, quiet guy who's nice and not at all a jerk. Because he should have been an ass, okay? But he wasn't. Why? There was a part in the reception where Hardin's father was talking about, like, I remember my child reading passages from his favorite books, but in the book, when that happened, Hardin threw a fit. He never threw a fit. Maybe he did it on the bonfire, but that wasn't like throwing a fit. That was him protecting Tessa from Jace, who was like molesting her. He had to do something. I'm not really happy how they did Hardin. I know it wasn't going to be like the book, and I accepted that, but I didn't expect it to not have the Hardin we know, because that is so important. I like that they put in consent in the film every time they had to do something. I like that Hardin would stop. I like how they changed Hardin in that aspect, because in the book I don't remember any consent there, guys. I don't. Consent was completely off the table. That's how it was in the book. That's why I really hated it. So me seeing that in the movie, I was so happy. Okay, so I'm done with Hardin. Let's talk about the other things in this movie. Let's go with the music. I did not like the music at all. I don't know. I wish in some parts where they were doing the nasty, you know, I wish they could have done like music that was hot and intense, like Dangerous Woman. The ones in the trailer, I wish that they could have incorporated those musics in those scenes, except for the actual sex scene. I think that's the only part where they could have mellowed down the music. But in the lake scene, I feel like they should have putting on Dangerous Woman in there. I just want to look good for you. Is that the title of that song? I had to add something in my review, and it is that there were a lot of montages. Every 15 minutes there's going to be a montage or a slow-mo. Also, there weren't a lot of things that happened in this movie. It wasn't a big thing. If I wasn't so hyped up over it, I would have found this movie so boring, because in After the Book, the main thing in there are the fights between Hardin and Tessa, and not seeing that in this film was like, so what are we gonna do? So what is the plot if they are not fighting all the time? I know they were like trying to avoid being a toxic relationship, but at least they could have fight some more. They like argued in like the first 15 minutes of the movie, and then the next thing you know, they're all sweet to one another, because that's the message of After. It's not a smooth relationship. There are ups and downs in relationships, and that's why I really liked it, and I thought it was really realistic. Oh, there was a part in the reception where Tessa calls Hardin's father Ken. Oh, your mother and Ken are getting married. Like, you call him Ken already? Do you even know the guy? You're in first name basis now? It was too fast-paced. And also, I wish that they didn't move in together before actually having the nest. I wish they didn't move in before that and actually saying I love you to one another, because when Tessa's mother just cut her off, was like, let's move in together. No, like that's too fast. So I wasn't really like happy about that. that. Although Selma Blair was amazing. I love her. The portrayal of Noah was beautiful. Did you guys remember that scene where Tristan would be like, I like your sweater? And he's like, thanks. It's from The Gap. Oh, that was in the book! Exactly in the book, but Hardin was the one who asked it. Just love Pia Mia's Tristan. She's so cute. And also Inanna. Inanna was so great being Molly. She portrayed that beautifully. Oh, ouch. Bye-bye high school. The bonfire scene. He just went to James and just like, dude, he didn't even land a punch. James was the one who landed the punch, and I was like, okay, that's it. I really wanted that part to be longer because I wanted to see some, you know, action happening. Because like, it showed Hardin just being impulsive and not at all strong in terms of physical things. He didn't even throw a punch. I just wanted Hardin to punch James, but he didn't. I'm pissed. They changed Tessa. She's not an English major anymore. She's economics. I like that they changed it up a bit. She's not a cliche, mediocre girl who reads and wants to be a journalist or write a book. So I really like that. Lennon was nice. Like, he's in the middle. He's fine, but it wasn't really memorable, I think. Zed! What the frick did he do to Zed? Like, when they put Zed into the story because he was just right there. Jace was even more of a character than Zed is, and Zed is very important. Zed will play such a big part. Maybe they're just going to incorporate it in the second movie. And the ending, Hero's acting in the ending, I didn't really like that. That's the part where it really threw me off, that ending where he's like, Tessa, that was before you. What you said? Molly, shut up. I didn't really like him as Hardin. He's cute, I love his face, I love him so much, but he's not Hardin. My favorite part, I really love the part in the Pride and Prejudice when they started fighting. I love that. And then Tessa was like, don't. Nothing happened between us, okay? I have a boyfriend. And he's like, us? I thought we were talking about Pride and Prejudice. That made my day. And when she was like, how can someone be so arrogant? Oh, Elizabeth Bennet needs to chill. Like, who says that? I love that. So yeah, that's my review. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.